Welcome to the Women Up podcast, that show that inspires women to up-level their woman uphood and feel more confident. My name is Natasha. I'm your host, and today we're talking about parenting in a male perspective. My guest today is an ambitious and committed entrepreneur who is actively dedicating his time in children's health. Ladies, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Kevin Raphael. Kevin Raphael, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Natasha, for having the pleasure of being part of your show. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait.
We know we have you. Well, I know you have a busy schedule, so it's an honor for us to have you. So,
Thank you.
so let's get started. Let me ask you, introduce yourself to the community. Who is Kevin Raphael, and what do you do?
Well, Kevin Raphael is biochemist, um, father, 44 years old, father of a daughter who's going to be 13. Wow,
Yeah.
it flies. Time flies. Happily married.
Good and good luck. 13.
Yeah, yeah. hmm And happily married. Um, with an awesome woman who keeps me in check and brings the best out of me, regardless of the way, and who's not afraid to put me back in my place. And
Respect that.
I'm really honored to be to have both of those awesome girls in my life. Both.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, so today we're going to talk about parenting, and I know that you have something that it's called Père la Boule. Can you talk?
Yes.
Can you talk to us about a little bit about that?
Long story short, basically, Père la Boule is it's basically I decided to to return the favor and to help kids to give them as many tools as they can to be able to go through life with healthy habits, healthy lifestyle. Because I had to go through that myself. Um, because at some point, um, I was trying to spend as many quality time as I could with both my wife and my daughter. And because I wasn't taking care of myself, I kept on falling asleep every single time. We were in the living room having fun, watching TV, playing games. I kept on falling asleep. I kept on waking up and find out myself alone in the living room or wherever the place where we were, and realize, oh, what? What just happened there? Or again. So I realized that I was pretty overweight. I was almost 240 pounds, and I decided to take action. And that was one of the reasons why I did that. And also the fact that my daughter got diagnosed with ADHD, and my wife got in a short period of time, my daughter got diagnosed ADHD. My wife got diagnosed uh, type 2 diabetes. And I was going through all those things. And I decided, you know what? The best thing to do is to preach by example. And the best thing I could do is first take care of myself. So,
Absolutely.
so I decided to go back in the gym, um, taking care of what I was eating, a whole life turnover I had to do, whole life reset, and proudly I lost 2 years. In 2 years, I lost almost 40 pounds,
Wow.
and by going through that, I realized that yes, that would be a good example for both my wife and my daughter who were going through their own challenges at the time. But I had this feeling inside of me that I wanted to do more to reach as many people as I could. And the best example was let's go with kids. Let's go with kids. Let's give them, try to educate them, give them as many tools as we can to to arm them to be able to go through life because life is full of challenges. So the best way to be able to do that is to do it as soon as you can. So that's
Right.
why I decided to go with the Pale Level project, and pretty satisfied the fact that both my wife and my daughter are involved in that as well. So that really puts a an awesome feeling, the fact that I'm growing something and they're also involved in it, and so that gives a chance to have good quality times to through that project and to be able to grow to grow all
Right.
of us. So
Right. So why is children health important to you? What's the backstory? Was there anything that you went through as a child that that you went through and that was pretty challenging? What and something that that inspires uh what you're currently doing with children?
I wouldn't say that something happened when I was a kid. I would say that I'm noticing that, especially with the pandemic, that
Yeah.
already we were in a in a lifestyle that people, including kids, are moving less and less and less. And the pandemic uh, just put a big stop on the fact of having kids playing outside and being able to interact with other people. So, and the fact that um, a few years ago, I found out that in Canada, in 2017, if I remember, 30% of kids are either uh, um, overweight or obese. So I was I say in my case I was always outside. I wasn't a fit kid, but I was a slightly overweight kid, but I was always outside playing regardless of the sport, baseball, soccer, hockey, football. I was always outside, and I'm noticing that a lot of kids are not only doing less of those things, but it also affects their humor, their personalities, and I feel that doing activities like that, there's so many challenges that you have to go through when you do physical activities, and it's good for you, and it's a way for you to gain confidence on yourself, so you could apply that in other spheres in your life. And I'm noticing that the fact that kids are not being as active as they used to be, that's a chance that they're missing out on going through challenges and being able to to get tools and to gain confidence on themselves and to be able to so that's for the best of their growth and for the rest of their life. So that's why I really decided the fact that I took care of myself by eating better, by doing more activities, if we could bring that into a kid's level, bring the fun, and just as because being a kid, you can have all of them by doing something fun. So
Right.
that's why I did. So that's why I decided. You know what? Let's let's bring the fun. Let's put the focus on fun physical activities.
Right. I
And
think, sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that you and I believe we were born in the era where children were playing outside every day. We were whether it was summertime or winter time, we were pretty active. We didn't have cell phones and all that smartphones things and all those devices. So
Mhm.
this on top of the pandemic, what it did to not only the children but for the parents as well. I think it all together we were all like not so active. And how maybe you could tell us how has it been for you on your end, and how we you were able to overcome that challenge through the pandemic. I'm not sure if your daughter is into devices, tablets and stuff like that, but how were how you guys were able to overcome, you and your wife, and bring that your daughter into that active mode.
It's a work in progress. It's a
It's
work in progress. But you know what? She's had a point where she does realize that wait, it's affecting my personality. It's affecting a couple of things in my life. But it's just the fact that she's been having those habits for so long. That's the part that's hard for her. Plus, she's a kid. Let's
right.
be honest. She's a kid. So that's the hardest part. And the sometimes it's annoying, but it's part of parenthood as well. So, but it's annoying. Let's be honest. But
Yeah, for sure. It's a learning curve for children as well. It's
oh
some when you want to try and when to try you want to try to show them like the other side of anything. Actually, it's always going to be a learning curve.
yes. Plus, also it's hard for kids also that especially with the pandemics, the fact that everything was on high alert and you have to be careful about so many things. The you go back to what you know.
Right.
So it's hard for you to try something new with after going through that. But to grow, basically, you have to go through challenges. You have to because sometimes you think you won't like or you won't be able to achieve something, and then you try, and even though you don't succeed, you realize, hey, you know what? That's not that bad. You know what? If I put my heart to it, if I learn from my mistake, then I'll be able to 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 be able to go through that and to achieve what I want to do. So it's just that's the part. That's the part I'm really trying to help her with is the fact that listen, nobody's perfect. If you go through life saying that you have to be perfect, you will let me be honest with you, you will fail. The sooner that you want to fail, the better it is for you.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
fail.
that's
We say fail forward.
exactly exactly.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to bring that into her, repeat that the fact that hey, you tried. Now, do you know why you didn't have the result you wanted to? Then when you have an answer, then try something different and see if that helps. So that's the thing. It's hard, but you know what? It's what I'm trying to teach her to have this habit. So that's what
So
I'm doing
let me ask you this. So how is fatherhood had an impact on you personally?
personally. I always said I wanted to be more involved with my kids because my dad was the type of dad that if I am where I am today, thank it's both my parents, my mom, my dad, and my mother's side grandmother. Those three were extremely important for me. And I would say as well, my great aunt, my sister's grandmother's on my mother's side. She was so important for me. And if I bring that back to my father, is that he always saw sports and physical activity as a a risk to be in to get hurt.
Hmm.
That's why that's why he was never involved in anything that I was doing in those type of activities, which I didn't know when I was growing up, and I realized that after by talking to my dad and people around him, stuff like that. So I kind of understand his side of it, but I always said that regardless of what my kids are doing, I will be there for them. And my daughter cannot say that I was never there for any of her activities because I was always there for her. So that's one of the things that I always said, be involved in your kids' activities, regardless of what they are. Always be there. Um, I would say also what affected me.
Is how fatherhood impacted you personally.
Um, I would say that fatherhood is, I would say, is a big reality check for me, for anybody, because you think you know everything, wait until you get a kid.
It teaches you a lot of things, right?
Oh yeah, it teaches a lot of things, and it teaches a lot of on yourself too. Because I was always the kind of guy that was patient, um, that didn't talk a lot, that didn't scream. I was always the type of guy who was ultra focused. I'm still that type of guy. Even it annoys my daughter and my wife sometimes when I'm doing something, they could talk and I don't react. Um, but when I had my first kid, but when I had my daughter, I would say, um, it really tested my patience. And thanks to her, I am definitely more patient than I was before. But I thought that I was incredibly patient, but no, no, my friend, you're not. You're not. If you think you are,
You
wait.
never know what kind of kid you're gonna get, right? So,
Oh yeah, yeah. And the fact that every kid is unique also. Just like I was talking to my wife earlier is that everyone's unique. Even my wife who works in a daycare, she
right.
realizes that she had the education to give her the best tool to be able to go through that with kids. And she realized that, yeah, even though you might think you know, you don't. You don't. But at the end of the day, if you do your best, that's all that matters. If you do it with love, you do your best, that's all that matters.
Um, I want to touch base on how would you describe your relationship with your daughter?
I would say, I would say it's like I will use the Star Wars analogy. It's like Obi-Wan and Anakin or Darth Vader's relationship. Is that the master, which is the parent, is trying to do the best that he or she can to for his mentor, the young Jedi that they're trying to to mentor. But at some point they have to outgrow you. And
Absolutely.
how will you react, both of you, on both sides, not only the mentor but the mentee as well? How will you react? How will you handle those frictions? And sadly, with the Star Wars analogy, we see that it takes a dark path. I would I would say that it you have to be just like there's a incident that happened yesterday is that she was asking me a question about her electronics because that's one of the things that we definitely want to get a control of.
How about
She
electronic
electronics, yes.
device? Okay.
So iPad, TV, video games, stuff like that. So she asked me a question that what will happen on Thursday because she only gets the electronic in the morning. And on Thursday, what happened is that I work from home through the week, except on Thursday I go to the office. So I leave early in the morning. So if I'm not there, she's not getting her electronics, right? So she asked me a question, what happens with my electronics on Thursdays now? But I was so tired. I was watching the hockey game. It was an overtime. It was an awesome game. I just wanted to, okay, guys, just score the overtime goal so we know who's moving to the next round so I can, as soon as possible, so I can go to bed. Now, you're asking me a question about electronics. Uh, yeah, I don't know. This is not the time. Leave me at peace in my hockey right now. And this morning, when I woke up, I was just like, you know what, Kev, that was harsh. First of all, your wife saw that you were so tired just to stay awake to watch that game-winning goal. She kept on telling you, you're tired, you should go to bed. I said, no, 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 I'm fine, I'm fine. I just want to watch. I just wanted to see this game-winning goal. So you know what, Kev, you should have realized that, you know what, I'm too tired. And they are here, and you're losing patience because they're talking. You're not able to focus on the game. Just go to bed or watch the hockey game on your computer in another room. And you know what? The best thing is to go to bed. You'll watch the highlights tomorrow morning. I didn't. So this morning I told her, I said, you know what? First of all, baby, I apologize. I overreacted when you asked me a simple, logical question. I should be the adult and go to bed and tell you we'll talk about it later or another time, something like that. I apologize on that. And those are those. My point is in that incident is that nobody's perfect. Everyone makes mistake, and you have to realize that. And that's one of the things I'm working a lot lately is that whenever I do a mistake, I'm not afraid to go back to her and tell her, listen, I made a mistake, I apologize. Which is one of the things also that I'm teaching her because she has a lot of problems managing that when she does a mistake. It's okay if you do a mistake, be honest, tell me you did a mistake, and we'll move on instead of lying. That's the part I'm having issues with. Is that that's my way of teaching her, listen, I might be your dad, but I'm gonna make mistakes too. And when I do, I'm gonna be man enough or I'm gonna be the adult in this situation. Man or woman, doesn't matter. You did a mistake, be honest, go to the person and you say, listen, I apologize, I made a mistake. So that's one of the things that I always brought her is that when you everyone makes mistake. I do.
That's a
But
very honorable. That's very honorable from you to, and you're showing humility. You know, I don't think that. I, you tell me, but my parents did not apologize whatsoever.
nah.
You just knew that they were no longer angry when they offered you food. They're like, I cooked some food. Do you want some? So I know you can't relate to that, right? So, but it's very honorable. It's very honorable that that you're showing that humility and that that you guys are able to connect and bond um and recover from that from any challenges like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's so you're showing this example not necessarily but um through what in through your personality and what you do, you're still teaching her and inspiring her, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Woman Up podcast. Ladies, if you haven't checked out our latest series on the podcast called EMA, it's the EMA project that we specifically designed to help you feel empowered and reframe your mindset. Go check it out. It's already on Spotify on our channel. So don't forget to subscribe and follow. So we're back with you, Kevin Raphael. What are you currently working on?
Currently, I'm working on a fable book with multiple favor. Basically, it's that in every fable, kids are going through challenges just like life. And I use a character which is a howl that has the same name as my character as Père Laboule, which is Dr. Maboule, to help those kids to go through challenges and to teach them fun physical activities to be able to gain confidence and to be able to achieve as many things as they can dream of. So it's a book with different type of fable, and that's what I'm doing. Be able to teach as many kids as I can, back bringing the fun part of it again, bringing myself to the kids level to be able to help them realize that physical activity is pretty important and it's pretty cool and fun. And it doesn't have to be a chore. So that's what I'm doing with those books.
And what do you wish to accomplish with that book?
To reach as many kids as I can. Because videos, it's fun. Um, however, I feel that by going through the book, those stories, is that I can I can teach them about dreaming as well. It's the dream part as well. So dream big. Don't be afraid to dream big. So that's why I'm using this venue, going through fable and challenges and magical world. And oh wait, a howl is talking to me. What? Oh, howl's wearing glasses talking to me? What?
Right. I love it. It's almost like well, I don't know if well, I don't think you got inspired, but it's really make me think of the Doctor the no, the Magician of Oz. Is that it? Magician of Oz?
I think so. Yeah, I
Anyways,
think so.
that's what it makes me think about when you the way you explaining. So who where do you get your inspiration from, and who's working or who's around you, who's around that project with you?
Well, I get this inspiration from all the live that I did with my daughter. Basically, we're just taking the essence of what Dr. Mabul is, my character, helping teaching kids the fun part of physical activities and going through challenges and dream big. So that's what we took from those live, and we using the Fable book as a venue, a way to be able to reach as many kids as we can. So people are around me on this project are definitely my wife and daughter. Um, and there's an awesome mentor by Dr. Back and Dr.
Nguyen?
Back, I'll say Dr. Back Nguyen. Um, there's also his team and Dr. Back and his team that involves his wife, Jonas. Um, Also, there's cool people like yourself, Natasha, in the mastermind that are pushing me to to reach to go through the glass ceiling, and um those are the main people. Lovie, Jonas, you, Dr. Back, and his team, his wife Trani, my wife and daughter. Those are the main my main support team that are helping me go through the glass ceiling.
And how would you say how would you describe the difference, well, what you how it was for you before meeting or working with Dr. Back, and then during, and what is your prophecy?
What do you mean by what is my prophecy?
What is your prophecy? What's the upcoming victories?
Okay, so the before back, I was trying to do too many things at once. I was so determined to reach my goal that I was doing the things I want. I was everywhere and not not moving anywhere. Uh, but the after since I met Dr. Back and I started to be mentored by Dr. Back and his team is like I have a target. I'm working on that target. Just like there's a character in one of his book, the Joshua, the super chicken son who keeps on running and he's running really fast. I'm going at a speed that I never ran before in my life, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
You're getting a momentum.
Oh, definitely yes.
Cool, cool.
Yes.
So what's your next victory?
My next victory. My next victory is to be the in the next 5 years to be the reference for kids' health in the world in the next 5 years. That's my goal. And no matter how small I'm starting, even though people might think you started with a book, yes, I am. I'm starting with a book, and watch me, or in my case, read me, and and
And
and
in
you'll
here,
realize
hearing you today, actually, with this through this podcast, so you're
definitely yes.
you're getting your idea, a streamline of ideas with working with Dr. Back on your projects, and you have them streamlined. And I believe that getting with that momentum, I think you're definitely in line to achieve those goals. So I wish you, I can't wait to see you shine. And I can't wait to see you uh to see what's next to you, and what are your next victories. And
Yes.
honestly, I want to congratulate you and thank you. I want to
Thank you.
thank you for your time with us at the Lady Boss. So where can we if parents want to connect with you, where can we find you?
Well, on most social media is Kevin Raphael 78. Um, you'll be able to reach me. Also, you can look at Père Laboule. Um, on most social media, you just type Père Laboule, so you will be able to find that. And I'm mainly on Facebook and Instagram for now. And then again, like I was saying, I was everywhere, and now I'm focusing on Facebook and Instagram. So that's where you can find me: Instagram, Facebook, for either the Père Laboule accounts or on my own personal account, which is Kevin Raphael 78.
Great. That's awesome. Thank you so much. If you're hearing this message, you've listened to the new pod episode all the way to the end. And for that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're definitely part of the Lady Boss community. Kindly follow the podcast so you don't miss any updates. Until then, woman up.